Hi, welcome to Eternal Love of Drama. This is a channel where two Chinese drama bingers share our strong, uninformed opinions about Chinese dramas that we watch, and a lot of the Chinese dramas that we don't watch too. We actually have no knowledge of anything related to the Chinese drama industry, actors, famous people, etc. But we like what we watch or don't like what we watch and like making fun of it. So if that's the kind of thing that you like, subscribe to our channel and join us.
Usually we start our show by awarding what we call an arbitrary drama award in a category that we just make up. It's like a never-ending awards show of awards that you probably don't want to win. But today we're going to give a whole bunch of awards just to one drama. So we're calling this episode Douluo Continent is the best. We will present these. Yes. We will present these awards as we talk about why we loved Douluo Continent.
All right, so Douluo Continent is a fantasy costume drama, and it stars Xiao Zhan of Untamed and other drama fame. And in this fantasy universe, some people are born with something called a spiritual soul. And what you do is over your life, you cultivate your powers to like sort of level up and become a soul master. I think you said it like it's like Pokemon, except with people, which makes total sense to me. And one of the ways that you level up is to hunt like spiritual beasts, which are like animals with spiritual powers. And after you kill them, you can absorb their spiritual power. So we meet our hero is Tang San, who is played by Xiao Zhan in the beginning of his journey. And at that time, he's living with his dad, who is an alcoholic blacksmith. And over time, they live in a small village, but over time, as he becomes a soul master, he goes to a school where he meets a random guy whose name is like Yu Xianggang, who eventually becomes his teacher, and then he meets Xiao Wu, who becomes his sister, and I guess his eventual love interest. And then the three of them end up going to Sri Lanka, which I guess all of the English translations are Shrek, I don't know why, which is another school, and they join up with 5 other students. They become the Shrek 7, what are they called? The Seven Devils. Yes, and they have many adventures as they all learn how to use their spiritual powers. They have, in the course of these adventures, they enter a contest with other schools and try to be the best. And they catch them all, I guess. I don't know. And in the process, you solve a lot of the mysteries around each of their sort of backstories, their parents, their families, and especially this big mystery around Tang San and his family and their secrets.
So we are going to try our best to present our awards today without giving too many big spoilers, because when we think you should watch something, we try not to spoil it for you completely. So what's our first award for?
Okay, the first award is for the best ponytail in all of Chinese drama. And that goes to Xiao Wu, and she's got quite a ponytail. And part of what's special about it is, Tang San is the one who braids it and does her hair, and that's like super cute. But in one scene, I think it's like 3 or 4 episodes from the end, when they're in this final competition, she takes this ponytail of hers. I wish my hair was long enough to do this. And she swings it around, and it catches some guy's neck. And then she uses it to basically throw him off the stage, which, like means like she beats him with it, all while doing this cute little twirl. So she's absolutely adorable. But why we picked that, not only because of her awesome ponytail, was because we thought that in this drama, there was like pretty well choreographed fight scenes. I really like fight scenes, which is one of the reasons why I especially liked the Xiao Wu character, because she loves fighting. And so she's always picking fights with people. But a lot of times in these fantasy dramas with a lot of CGI, you tend to have like the laser show, like, powers, and like I don't know, it's very weird. I don't even know what the right gestures are, but essentially all people do is pose. But in this drama, there's actually some fighting that seemed like people actually had to do physical exertion.
Yeah, I think that when it comes to ponytails in C-drama, it also reminded me a little of Xiao Zhan, in fact, in Fight Break Spear, because he has an amazing ponytail in that, but it has no that as far I didn't finish watching that, so I don't think it has any function beyond form.
Yeah.
Another award that we would like to give this drama is the Saddest Funny Award.
Yeah.
There is a big secret that gets revealed close to the end, and it is revealed via probably the saddest looking bunny that in the history of all bunnies. It was truly, truly a very sad bunny. Um, but it is cool because in that scene, or sort of like the theme around that mystery is sort of like what it means to be human. And I think that's like one of the larger themes that this drama is trying to tackle, even though it's generally a fairly light drama. That is sort of like a bigger theme that they talk about.
Yeah, and I thought that was a really interesting way of approaching it. I feel like we talked a little bit about this in our Yin Yang Master review, where we thought about like, and obviously spoiler alert, like the fact that one of the main characters is not quite human, and his motivations. So excellent, excellent choice. Okay, so the next award goes
Yes.
to the best stadium vendor team, and we have to give that award to Oscar Mayer, the hot dog man, and his sidekick, the like, what is his name? The evil phoenix. I don't remember
Oh,
what his like
I
animal
don't
is,
remember.
but they have this one line, and he says, "Well, you have hot dogs and I have fire. How?" And then like, this is perfect. And I was like, that is perfect. Grilled hot dogs on the spot, as long as you travel with these two guys, always, and they're gonna be like juicy. So anyway, that was so funny to me because I love hot dogs, and
There's a
I love
lot of
grilled hot dogs.
there's a lot in this drama that's just really funny, and one of the main sources of comedic relief is Osaka. His name is
Yes,
Osaka, and I'm sure that
yes.
is some reference to Oscar Mayer, and his superpower is hilariously related to providing sausages. So there are, when he appears, there is comedy to follow. So yeah. Um,
Okay, what's the next award?
the best super friends. So they end up sort of all the students in this school, there's only 7 of them, end up being called, working together as a team to compete and to face various challenges. And they are referred to as the 7 freaks of Shrek Academy, or the 7 devils. And they're all really interesting. And I think that like they're intentionally put together sort of by the headmaster of the school, because their strengths really complement each other, and they really, it's cool to watch them build relationships and support each other. um, and there's so much good material, and they each have like, we get a little taste of each of their backstories.
I think that a lot of there was like some web chatter about how slow the pacing was. Like, why did they focus on all these people instead of just on like Tang San and Xiaowu and their story? And I feel like it was good that they didn't, because to your point, like you learn about how like they build a team together, and like some people have strengths and their friends complement them, but you also really believe their friendship when they are actually fighting together because you've seen them become friends. And I think that that's a really a lot. There are a lot of super friends kinds of dramas where there are just people thrust together and they go to school, right? This is actually a very common sort of like
Yeah.
drama like story,
Mhm.
right? Like in Young Bloods, they all end up in school together, or in, I mean, in any Chinese drama where there's like a
Mhm.
pack of friends, but you don't always believe that they're good friends or get a very um, comprehensive treatment of the stories of anyone except the lead. So that's good.
And I think, if there is a lesson, if they're trying to like, teach you a lesson about life, or make a statement as a drama, like, that's a good one. That it's like, while we are all the protagonist of our own story, the
Yeah.
hero in our own story, like, it takes, like, we live in a world with other people, and you need to like work together to achieve most things. So
And
um
they actually pretty explicitly say it with a couple of them, which this is what I like. So um I like in the beginning how everyone is like making fun of Tang San because his superpower is that like grass. But the teacher is like, no, it's not about the grass, it's about the person, right? And so it's sort of like someone is teaching him that lesson that everyone has value. But then the way that people have traditionally treated like people with powers like Oscar and Ning Rong Rong, right? They're like the support. They don't know how to fight. And so people have always told them, you have no place in the Soul Master world, except to like, give a hot dog every now and again, right? So you see like Oscar moving in his personal journey because he has never felt appreciated or like proud of his gift until his friends explain to him that like his gift is valuable and he contributes to the team, and then he sort of feels that. So I've like,
Yeah, I think
so
there's like the whole, like he spends a lot of time like not wanting to cultivate because he doesn't think that his power is valuable. Um and I think that like it's a good like exploration into like his, his comfort with his own, like who he is, and
yeah,
like, the roles that we're told that we play, and like what you can make of them instead of like what you're told the limitations are. So
yes, good
yeah.
life lesson.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna give an award that I think is pretty fun. This is to the hottest old person. Okay,
Yes.
yes, and I have to say, teacher with the abs. Those were good abs. Probably the best
Old
abs
person.
that we've seen. Right. So let's get to. Well, first let's talk about the abs. Usually Chinese drama actors are pretty wimpy, and we've had a good run. The last review we did of Yin Yang Master, we talked about the abs. And we get to talk about the abs again here versus like the wimpy, twirly, like idol actors, right? So good job on the abs. So that's number one. Number two, he is like an old person in this drama. Probably he's like 40. Now, like in a lot of dramas, and we had this complaint of when we did our Legend of Fae review, is that all the old people are basically cannon fodder, right? Everyone in your parents' generation, like
Just
you exist,
die one
yes,
after the other.
yes, after you've like said something deep and profound or passed on your like martial arts secrets, right? That's like your only role. But in this drama, actually the older and the younger generations mix really well, and I think that they both teach each other lessons. The teacher is a really good companion and teacher to the students. The students help him because of his like stuff going on. And then also I really appreciated like Titan, and the poison Douluo. That guy's super funny with Tang San.
Yeah.
I don't know,
And
like old
Sword
people.
Dolo was a badass too. Like, yeah. And obviously Tangsan's dad. Like, I think that I appreciate that not only did he have abs, like you can tell his shoulders are very like muscular, like just under his clothes,
Okay.
right? He's definitely the hottest old person. But I do give an honorable mention to Bibi Dong, who is his like
Yes.
former love interest, who is smoking old person.
Yes.
So
She does
yay
look
for
good.
not killing all the old people.
Yeah.
Legend of Fae. But I think the next award goes to the best way to supercharge your animal guardian. And I guess it's really hard to talk about this without spoiling it, but there is a really, really funny radish scene that happens in this drama with a big cart of daikon radishes, and it just like, aside from that moment itself being very funny, it definitely was like a nice like callback for me to Wen-Ning, the ghost general in the Untamed, and his hilarious daikon radish selling skills. So best way to supercharge a spirit animal.
Okay, so our final arbitrary drama award is to the best educational institution in Chinese drama. So the best school is Sri Lanka Academy, for 100% graduation rate. Every single one of the students graduated. Most of the time, the school is just a place, a convenient sort of plot carrier where characters met each other, and you never really knew what people learned at those schools, except how to flirt with each other or anything like that. And you never knew if they finished or if they graduated. But in this case, every single one of them graduated. Best outcomes.
I mean, yeah, and a tailored curriculum to the individual's needs. I also appreciated there was a moment where teacher saw that they were all making a very big mistake as they were heading into one of the battles in the contest, and he let them make the mistake, and then he like taught them the lesson about it afterwards. So
Yes.
I think that was effective. However,
However,
I I do not agree with this award. I think that there are not enough standards for
Okay.
an educational institution here. I disagree that all of these people are prepared to go out into the world, and you know, particularly, you will discover that one of these people can't read,
Yes, and
and
this
for
becomes
some
an issue at a
reason,
critical moment.
yes, and somehow it's no problem. You can graduate too, as long as you don't like unintentionally set people on fire. It's cool.
I mean, but like the purpose of standards is really to compare against other institutions. And really, were there
And
other institutions and other C dramas where there was any kind of completion rate measured?
well, I don't know, and I don't know, but I assume that most of those people could read. So,
Okay, okay.
assuming that literacy is like one of your desired outcomes in education, but maybe it's just life, like being able to be a good human
No,
or
to be a good
something.
soul master.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have to try to appear balanced, and so now we have to talk about some things that
Because they have won, Douluo Continent now has won 7 arbitrary drama awards, thus
this is a big
holding the
deal.
title for most arbitrary drama awards awarded.
Yes. So tell me, give another award for the worst of something.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with the worst, like CGI. Like, it's a fantasy drama, and grant, like, we don't love fantasy drama because it can sometimes just be like a cheesy CGI laser show. And they created this terrible, worst, even magical interspace where Tangsan ends up at some point in the drama, and it's like just like this weird, trippy, like hypercolor flowers. Like, it's just so CGI overload, and like on top of that, there's all these like spirit animals that just sometimes look really cheesy. There is a guy, even though there is good fighting, there is a guy who just has this like magical boomerang that flies around, and he stands there looking mean, and somehow he's a great fighter, right? So yeah, it's not really like, some of the powers are like the mold guy I don't really understand. So like,
Yeah, and like as much as I like Xiao's fighting, I really like her when she's fighting humans, because there's the one scene where she's basically fighting like makeup mirrors, like the round makeup mirrors with like light sticks shooting out. And I mean, she's like incredibly athletic in filming this. I will give her credit for that, but it's just very unsatisfying to see her beat a makeup mirror.
yeah, what else? What
Um,
else didn't we
okay,
like?
I would like to give this an award for the worst ending. Now, this is not the worst ending. Like, I thought like Farewell My Princess was like a terrible ending, or like some of the other dramas, right? But this is like the most number of loose ends left. It just left you so many unresolved issues. Now, I know that they have said on the interwebs that there will be Douluo Continent 2, and that's even listed on my drama list. But I feel like there's like a very close to 0% chance that we will see this in our lifetime. And so I feel like because of that, we got cheated out of like really interesting answers to some of the really interesting unresolved questions.
Yeah, and like with the loose ends, you know, we have seen dramas with plot holes that are big enough for a single person to fall through, but this drama has like plot holes and unanswered questions big enough for like huge groups of people to have just like disappeared without any trace, without any resolution. So you know, it was kind of a short drama, and I felt like it could have been longer. Was it 40 episodes? It could have been longer and answered some of these questions, because not all of these questions are like the like cliffhanger, hang on to see what happens next for those people. It's just like what's happening right now with these people that have just gone by the wayside. um
Well, yeah, and it's almost like the way they ended it, like it wasn't a cliffhanger as much as it was I'm in the middle of a conversation with you, and then I just get up and walk away. And you're like, but wait, we were in the middle of a sentence. Like, you didn't even finish your sentence. Like, what
Yeah.
happened?
Yeah. Or,
And
you know, like his dad, right? Like
yeah,
his dad in the beginning, when they part ways, is like, I have stuff I need to do.
it's so important. And when you're strong enough, you can join me.
But like, what? What is it?
What did he do for 30 episodes?
If you watch to this point, if you watch to this point in the drama, which is very early, you will think to yourself, I wonder what he has to do. And you will think that by the end of this, you know, drama, at the very end, by the finale, you're going to know the answer to that question. And let me just tell you, you will not.
And they set up a lot of really interesting things. They set up this really interesting conflict between two countries. We have like one of our Shrek Seven Devils is like the son, like I guess he's a prince of one country, and then there's like the prince and I guess the uncle of the prince of another country, and then like suddenly they just stop talking about it, and you're like, oh, I would watch more drama if I could know what this was all about.
Just they, you know, it's just cast aside. And I think on top of that, there are just some like illogical elements to the writing. Like,
Yeah,
there's this character Hulina who like isn't one of the seven devils. She's like auditing. She's like there observing the school for whatever reason. And like everybody is just, and she's clearly sketchy. She's clearly got like ulterior motives. And nobody ever says, like, actually, no, you can't come along. You can't be a part of this conversation. Like, who the fuck are you, right? Like, she just follows them around whenever she feels like it, or sneaks off and, you know, does whatever it is that she's doing. And like, people are like, cool, okay. Like, nobody, they even talk about it. Like, ooh, should we let her
talk
come?
about it, and
And
then
they always do.
And it's not just that it's her. She has like a guy following her too, and they're just like, okay, well, he's just with her. So it's okay.
Yeah. There are some, this is not a perfect drama, but would you recommend it? Would you watch it again?
Okay, so I actually, like, per our theme, I really liked it. I thought it was the most enjoyable drama that we have watched this year. And I get it that it's March and it's early, but like just looking at the prospects of I don't feel like it's going to get much better than this. Now, the thing that kind of like a lot of people will say is they'll compare it with like the original. So like Douluo Continent, there is like, I guess, like a comic, and there's like a cartoon, whatever they call it, an anime series. I am not interested in watching that or reading the comic or the web novel, so I don't really care like whether this is true to the original. I found the drama as a standalone to be really enjoyable. I liked the characters a lot. I would watch a spin-off that actually gave me some answers to any of the questions about
To
any
any,
of the
really,
characters.
yeah,
And,
any of the
right?
questions would be fine.
Any of the characters, because I felt like they did a really good job making me like them all. And like even the
What
minor
was Dad
characters.
doing? What happened to any of the missing people?
Even like Hulina walks off the stage. Where is she going? She got some really big news there at the end.
And she had this look on her face like she was about to say something or do something. And then they just cut away. And
so
like she gets up with a look on her face like, I've received this big news and I'm about to do something in response. And then you never see her again.
Ever. Yeah.
For the whole drama.
Yeah.
I actually was kind of surprised because, you know, I really wanted to watch this to like be a number one Shelton fan. And I was like, oh, I really like light show, laser show, not my thing, fantasy drama, not really my thing, but I was really surprised. Like it was so like fun. And like when I was like refreshing to see if there was like a new episode, I was like happy. Because like that's the whole sense of adventure, like these group of friends going on this adventure and coming of age together, like that was really like uplifting. And I think it was very enjoyable. And if there is a season 2 in our lifetime, who knows?
Who knows?
I would very happily watch it. So
Yeah.
thumbs up for Douluo Continent. Douluo Continent is the best.
Douluo Continent has won all of the awards.
Yes.
So thanks for joining us and watching to the end. We occasionally do these. I think we do them in a very irregular interval, just whenever we finish dramas and have time. So let us know in the comments whether you also enjoyed this or whether you are going to just complain about how it's not the same as the manhwa.
Okay, subscribe to our channel. Bye.
Bye. If we're okay, so no promises, but if I figure out how to do this, maybe we can put like photos of like Winning and his radishes and Xiao and her radishes and
well, I think that you should. It would be more hilarious if you could give yourself lasers coming out of your hands when you did the thing earlier.
Yes,